Focus, brought to you by the best of the best in financial services, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter 9 straight years and running the team from GulfCoast Financial Services, your resource, ladies and gentlemen, and the resource to North Central Florida proactive savers and investors to get that plan together, to formulate the financial focused written plan, and to have that more confident financial future as a result. The team there, again, from GulfCoast Financial Services, doing that for more than 31 years for their clients in and across North Central Florida. And founder and CEO of the firm, John Kuykendall, here with us as always, and always giving us important information. Today, John, going to be talking about what I would have to imagine is the number one question you probably get asked is, am I ready to retire, or how much do I need to be ready to retire?
That's right, Peter. It's the number one question. Everybody wants to know how much they're going to need to retire. And the thing is, Peter, everybody's number's different. You remember that ad that was on TV not long ago where they would be a bus stop and it'd say, "What's your number?" Well, everybody has a different number. Some people it's $1 million, some people it's $2, some people it's 500,000. It just depends on where you are and how much you're willing to spend or want to spend in retirement.
Yeah, and John, maybe there's a big difference between the top worries and concerns of somebody with that 500,000 versus the $2 or $3 or $5 million nest egg there. Maybe running out of money is not the top concern for one of them, but I bet both of them want to be as efficient as possible when generating that income in retirement, correct?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a scary thing. We're living off of our money. There's not a paycheck coming in because of our work. We're actually employed by ourselves in retirement. And so we have to do the best job we can to make sure that that money will last. I think the number one concern among retirees is running out of money. I mean, inflation is up there because we're all concerned about inflation and the cost of living. But because of that, and because of the high inflation, because of the taxes going up, everything we're seeing down the pike, everyone is concerned about running out of money. But how do you know if you're going to run out of money unless you got a roadmap?
Yeah. And this year, John, is the peak of the wave of the baby boom retirement and really the experiment of the lump sum generation. In generations prior, retirement was always about an income, but this generation's had the 401k and pensions have largely gone away. So this really is the lump sum generation. They've saved up more money than any previous generation and yet seem more uncertain about the outlook for retirement. That's because retirement truly is an income first problem and an income first solution is required.
Well, the prior generation had that pension coming in along with their Social Security check. And so those people, our clients that we've had who are in that generation, they've actually saved money during retirement. Their retirement has been great. So, we're seeing them have been retired for 10, 15 years. And where are they on the spectrum of retirement? And where are they on what they accumulated? Because it's a different ballgame. We were made, this generation, to buy what we wanted when we wanted it. And in retirement, you may not be able to do that. You may have to plan. I had a woman come in this morning and she's retired and she was all upset because she bought a golf cart. Now, the fact wasn't that she bought a golf cart. It was that she had gone to this place and hadn't planned on buying a golf cart. But, we spend our money impulsively and then we're worried about it because am I going to have enough to retire? And that was her question. Am I going to have enough to keep living?
Did she drive it to the office, John?
No, I don't know why she got the golf cart. She doesn't know. But it's something to do with a grandchild. And I can understand that. Grandmothers do things for their grandchildren. But, she was mainly concerned about how much money I got. Is this going to really impact me? I didn't mean to buy it, but I did. Do I need to sell it? And so those are all concerns of people in retirement. We want to make sure that we've got enough money to last us. But unfortunately, School didn't teach us how to do an income plan. Income planning didn't go along with the first wave of 401ks, Peter.
John, you've talked about the importance of the income plan, and repeatedly on theme, you have stressed that the income plan is not about, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't buy this, I can't spend any money. Rather, it is a freedom of spending plan. The income plan should allow you the freedom and confidence to do the spending that you want to do, but just keep it within some reasonable guidelines, correct?
Well, that's right, Peter. When we do the income plan, we did one the other day for a client, and they wanted $20,000 a year for travel. So we put that into the plan so that, they would be able to see that we could meet their daily needs. And at the same time, we could plan for the next 5 years for $20,000 a year for travel. The theory is that while I'm able and I can and I'm physically able, I want to travel. Can I do it? And so we give them the confidence to go ahead and book the tickets. Or we give them the confidence to say, maybe we can't spend 20, but we can spend 15 this year and 15 next year. What do you think about that?
Planning for both the needs and the wants in retirement. That is the goal of that income plan, so that you can do those things you want to do confidently without jeopardizing the things that you'll need to do later on down the road. And if you'd like to get that financially focused written retirement income plan put together, pick up the phone and give John Kuykendall and the team from GulfCoast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. And John's got his new book that talks more deeply about the topic of the challenges that we face in retirement. Quitting is for winners, but retirement's not for wimps. And if you give a call or stop by the office there at GulfCoast Financial Services, I'm sure you can get a copy of that in your hands. But John, there is a little bit of a back of the envelope math for figuring this out. That quintessential question of how much I need to retire. You actually go through a mathematical process to sort of try to nail down and determine what that number is, what the retirement number we should be striving for or that should give us confidence will be, correct?
Right, Peter. What we're looking for when we talk about the income plan is we want to find out how much money they're going to need a month by looking at past bills, past checking accounts, and seeing where my money's going. Then we're going to look at how much money they've got coming in. That's through Social Security, pensions, anything that's fixed and guaranteed to come in every month. We're going to take that. When you subtract that from the need, we come up with the shortfall. Now, the shortfall is where we're going to decide how are we going to get that money on a consistent basis without running out of money to meet those needs and also to meet my wants in retirement. Just because we're retired doesn't mean we still don't have wants. And we want to make sure that in retirement that we can take care of those. I mean, Peter, I'd say over and over again, we got the slow go, the no go, the go go, slow go, and no go. And it's true. I'm in the slow go years. I don't like to go out too much at night. I don't like to do this, but I still want to travel. I still want to do things. I'm still spending money. And so I need to account for that.
Yep. And again, to get that plan put together, pick up the phone, give GulfCoast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Now, John, I do want to talk about one of the common misconceptions when formulating that plan or when looking at our assumed projections for retirement is that there is a big disparity and confusion between rate of return and cash flow rate. When we look at our investment portfolio and review the past history and examine what has been our rate of return, that does not correlate with the cash flow that we should assume that we can pull, the withdrawals, the income from that portfolio moving into and through retirement into the future. And that's a common misconception and point of needed clarity, right?
Well, yeah, Peter, I think an ideal example is I looked yesterday at one of my portfolios. It shows a lifetime return of 10%. But last year I only made 5. And the year before, a 3-year average may be 6 or 7. So my cash flow really isn't 10. I mean, I can't take my investment account and say I've got 100,000 and I can pull 10,000 a year out of this, and I'm not going to break the bank. I can only pull out an average of what I'm going to make. I don't know what I'm going to make in the future. The market has shown us, having done this for 32 years now, the market goes up, the market comes down. When I'm pulling money out in a down market, I'm not helping my portfolio grow.
Yeah. I've thought about it in the way of, people say, well, if the market and my portfolio, my investment account goes up 5%, I should be able to take out 5%, which could be fine until the market goes down 10, 15, 20%, right? What are you doing in those years? Are you adding that money back in? Well, probably not in retirement when we don't have a paycheck and don't have an income. We need an income from it, so we have to continue pulling when the account is down. And so we really need to understand the rate of return and how that is very different, ladies and gentlemen, than the cash flow rate you can generate. And that's why you need that written, financially focused retirement income plan. And once again, you'd like to get that put together, or if you'd like to read the essential book on the topic, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement is Not for Wimps, pick up the phone, give GulfCoast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. So, John, it is time for our 5 questions on calculating your retirement number. Number 1, do investors without an income plan know how much their portfolio will produce for livable income?
Well, Peter, for physical income, I got to say no, because we don't have a roadmap. We don't know what we need. We don't know how much we need. And I'm just pulling out. And so I'm going to crash my portfolio before it's over unless I have a plan. I need to know how much I'm going to spend and where my money's coming from.
Do retirees without a specific income plan understand which accounts to pull from, first, second, last, and the correct order of operations to optimize retirement?
Well, no, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up paying more taxes. I'm going to pull money out of the wrong account. I'm going to take it out of my tax deferred account instead of my taxable account, or vice versa. I've got RMDs I've got to worry about. How am I pulling those out? Yeah, no, you got to have a plan, Peter.
Does Wall Street's 4% rule still hold true or work as effectively as a written income allocation plan?
Well, if you were in 1987, it probably did, but it isn't going to work now. We know that. We know that 4% is too much on an ongoing basis. Now, with interest rates being up, of course, it's going to work now, but it's not going to work in the long term because rates are coming back down. We can't have all of our money invested in CDs tied up where we can't get it. We have to have liquidity. We have to be diversified.
Can we rely on the market for predictable, sustainable income in retirement, John?
Well, you can rely on it if you want to, but it's not going to be predictable. It might be sustainable depending upon the amount of money you started with. The guy that started with 2 million and ended up with $1 million, but it ain't going to be there forever. We can't depend on a going interest rate. I can't say I get 10% every year.
Now, speaking of interest rates, is this a good time to look at designing that income allocation because interest rates are higher than they have been?
Well, they are. They're higher than they've ever been. We know that the Fed's already talking about rate cuts later in the year. Now's the ideal time to sit down, do a plan, figure out how fixed income is going to fit into your portfolio and how we're going to get a growth bucket. Because even if we put money into a fixed bucket, we're going to need a growth bucket.
Always a pleasure speaking with John Kuykendall today, talking about that essential question, am I ready to retire, or how much do I need to be ready for retirement, and how to answer that question, why it is so important that you address retirement as an income first problem and an income-first solution through the specifically written, financially focused retirement income planning process. Pick up the phone, give Gulf Coast Financial Services a call, 386-755-9018. That's 386-755-9018. Speak with John, speak with Brent, speak with the team there. You've got a team of professionals working on your behalf there at Gulf Coast Financial Services to help you have a more confident financial future through the planning process. Give them a call, 386-755-9018. And John, we always appreciate your time here on the program.
Thank you, Peter. It was great being here. I look forward to hearing from out there. Hey, if you'd like a copy of our new book, Quitting is for Winners, but Retirement's Not for Wimps, I encourage you to click the link below and get your copy today. Hey, we like it when you listen to the show, but we like it better when you like, share, subscribe, or feel free to leave a comment.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more financial focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature and not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. Gulf Coast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or